Hey everyone, what's up? This is Jordan from JJ Cruise. Today we are taking you around the Quantum of the Seas. We had an amazing cruise to Alaska on this ship. And if you're here checking out the video today, make sure to hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit the like button. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy the tour. We are starting our tour here in the forward of deck 16. Quantum of the Seas has 16 decks. This is as high as you can go. And all the way up here in the forward is actually where the Vitality Spa Fitness Center is going to be. So we're going to walk back here and take a look at the fitness center. Now, as we walked in, we did walk past several offices or small little rooms. That's going to be where the fitness and gym consultation and trainers will be located. So if you do want to get a trainer while you're in here, you can definitely do that. I will say this gym is smaller than a lot of other cruise ships that may be in similar size. But you can see they have all of the necessary workout equipment to get your workout in while you're at sea. There is a space down here at the front where they will have classes. They do have classes that you can pay for. That's right down there. And then you can see that there's lovely views all around. You can really work out while enjoying the beautiful sea or port if you're at port. Today we are here in Alaska. Quantum is a great ship for colder weather itineraries. So this ship has a lot of indoor spaces, but still a lot of glass so you can see outdoors. Coming right out here, you are going to have some bathrooms. So if you are utilizing the gymnasium, the bathrooms for the men and the women will be right here in the forward lobby of elevators. Now we are going to go ahead and take the stairs down to 15, because in the forward deck of elevators here on 15, you are going to have the Vitality Spa. The Vitality Spa is going to be, of course, a place where you will be able to go and get all types of spa services done. So they have a salon in here. You can get massages done, as well as a number of other different services: teeth whitening, acupuncture. This is going to be the lobby here where you will check in. They sell a lot of services, and then down there is going to be the different treatment rooms. So that is the Vitality at Sea Spa. And we're gonna walk right out here, heading more towards the aft of the ship. Now you are going to have some bathrooms this way, but this is going to be the upper level of the indoor pool deck. Like I said, there's a lot of indoor spaces here on Quantum of the Seas. There is on deck 14 right below us this indoor pool with 2 different hot tubs and of course a pool bar. But we're going to take a little stroll outside. You have the bathrooms right there. And then up here on deck 15 you will have your jogging track. So this track is great because it's going to actually run all the way around the ship. Now we're going to head more towards the aft of the ship. But if you were running around, you will notice it's a little elevated there as you run to the forward. So this does take you around the spa area. But we're gonna walk this way. It's actually a beautiful day here in Sitka, Alaska. This is, again, a great ship to take to colder weather destinations. We've had a really wonderful cruise cruising to the little cities in the southeast Alaska corridor. Now up here on deck 15 you are going to have the North Star bar. So of course this is going to be a bar where you can come and get drinks. This bar is going to set right up above the main pool deck. Now the main pool deck has not been utilized a lot on this sailing, but of course if you're here in a warmer weather climate, the pool will be open. This pool was open the first day of the cruise and has been closed ever since. Now you may be asking, why is this bar called the North Star Bar? And that is because the North Star is an incredible feature here on the Quantum class ships. You see that little ball right there, that will actually lift up over 100 feet in the sky. It becomes an observatory or a viewing platform. Now the interesting thing about this is it used to be free. This is now for a charge. However, the tip is if you still want to go in it for free, on a port day, if you stay on the ship, they do give rides at no cost. sea days, you do have to pay for it. Port days, it's going to be complimentary, but you will want to reserve it in the Royal Caribbean app because you do need a reservation to actually go into the North Star. We're gonna keep walking around this way on the jogging track. Now you do see a lot of loungers up here. This ship does have plenty of spaces to kind of lay out and lounge around. Again, a lot less of that here on this colder weather itinerary. Now as we get back towards the aft of the ship, there is a lot of activities up on this side. Of course, we have the Seaplex, we're gonna check that out. But there's a couple of really important activities like the Wave Rider and Ripcord by iFly that we're gonna go back and check out. Now as we walk back, I do wanna talk a little bit about Ripcord by iFly. Same thing as the North Star. There are times when it will be complimentary, but it normally does come with a charge. Regardless, it does have to be reserved. Now this sailing is almost back at full capacity. Most cruise ships are now past post-COVID. And something to know is that the ships, when they get really full, these things sell out really quickly. So we always recommend when you get on board, you make any reservations for any type of entertainment or activities that you're going to want to do, otherwise you might miss out. Now something that we love about the Quantum class ships is there is always a massive animal on the top of the ship. So Quantum does have this beautiful pink bear. Of course on other ships we've seen things like pandas, elephants, cats, on Odyssey of the Sea. But I will go ahead and give you a quick view from this side. It's absolutely massive. Actually, I think this one is quite a bit bigger than some of the other statues on the other ships. As we walk back here, you are going to have the rock climbing wall. So of course, another activity that you have right back here. If you can't find the rock climbing wall, look for the pink bear because it is right next to the pink bear. And then next to the rock climbing wall, we will have the entrance for Ripcord by iFly. This is of course indoor skydiving. So again, if you want to experience that, you're going to want to reserve it as soon as you get on the ship. We'll give you a quick look of that up here, along with the flow rider. The ship does have a flow rider, so there's lots of activities on the Quantum of the Seas, and we've really only just begun. We've got the flow rider here, and then right behind the flow rider is going to be the Ripcord by iFly. So in that giant tube, you get to experience free falling. It's a lot of fun if you are able to do it. We definitely recommend it. And it's just something unique. This class of ship is the only class of cruise ship that has something like that. Now back here towards the aft of the ship, you do have stairs that will go right down to the back of the Windjammer. So that's a little bit unique. They have been closed a lot. I'm not sure why, if they just don't want people walking up and down. My guess is it's to control the flow of traffic and encourage people to wash their hands. Kind of want people to come in towards the front of the Windjammer. Now, as we continue to walk around, you are going to see this giant Carpe Diem sign next to a bus that is seemingly sticking out of the wall. We're gonna go inside and check this out, but I think this bus might be the doghouse. And there it is. So we have now made it inside actually the Seaplex. So this is going to be the Seaplex doghouse. This will be the area that you'll be able to come and get complimentary hot dogs and sausages, as well as things like coleslaw and potato salad. Now over here you do have one of the Coca-Cola Freestyle machines. So if you do have that soda package, this is going to be a place where you'll be able to refill your cup at no charge. Again, for those with the soda package. Now, we are walking here into the main court of the Seaplex. This is the area, of course, that you're gonna have bumper cars. There's a lot of sports activities that happen here, like tennis. All throughout the week and all throughout your cruise, there will be many different activities here in the Seaplex. You can actually see those bumper cars right there. Bumper cars are, of course, another activity that do have to be reserved. So your key when coming on Quantum of the Seas is going to be reserve often and reserve early. You're gonna reserve the bumper cars actually right over here at this desk. So when you walk into the Seaplex, it's gonna be the area where you'll be able to do that. But we are gonna actually take a quick jaunt upstairs to the second level of the Seaplex to check out what's up here, because there's even more activities. Now you are going to have entrance to the suite sun deck up here. So if you're staying in a suite, this is a deck that is going to be just for you. So any type of suites that you are staying in, that's going to be an area that you will be able to chill out on. Now up here you are going to have ping pong. You've got these little pockets of different activities. Next to the ping pong you will have Xbox. So of course, if you've got anyone that's a gamer in the family here in the Seaplex, they'll be able to get their game on. And then jumping over to the other side, you of course have more ping pong. I love the views up here, the floor to ceiling glass. It's really, really beautiful, especially on a sea day. And then right over here, you will have some air hockey as well as some arcade games. Now there is an actual arcade. We'll go downstairs and check that out. But just know, if you thought you've exhausted all the arcade games in the arcade, you can pop up here to the next deck and experience a few more. Back down here, right next to the sports court where the bumper cars are, you are also going to have some foosball tables. So you have some of that. And then this is very important. The entrance to the arcade is right here off of the Seaplex. You're gonna see a lot of games in here. But a lot of people may not realize that you get your credits for the arcade right here. So right outside the arcade is where you're gonna actually purchase those credits. You can see the prices there. It's basically $1 per credit. And then we'll go in here and we'll just take a quick look at the games. Wide variety of games in here. Of course, if your kids love arcades, this is gonna be the place where they're gonna wanna come and hang out. And then there will be a small entrance and exit here at the very front of the Seaplex. So we kind of entered the Seaplex from the back, more towards the aft of the ship, and we are walking forward. Of course, this is going to be the aft bank of elevators here. We have now made it down to deck 14. We are here right outside the Windjammer, so the buffet area for the ship. I do want to point something out before we go inside. Right down these stairs, you're going to see a glass floor. That suspends you about 10 stories up, so you can actually walk on that glass and look down. Let me know in the comments if you would be brave enough to do something like that. You have a beautiful mural here outside of the elevators. Now there is a teen space called the living room. This is for ages 12 to 17. It is closed right now, but the space actually looks really cool. There's a lot of foosball, different tables, books, games for your teenagers to enjoy. They definitely have styled this to be really fun and hip. So if you have 12 to 17-year-olds, they can definitely hang out there. And then here in the bank of elevators, you are going to have the entrance into the Windjammer. So the Windjammer is, of course, going to be the main buffet area here on Quantum of the Seas. It is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and it is quite large. They have a lot of different options here. We're gonna walk in very quickly. As we walk inside, you do have a hand washing station. So of course, as always, you're gonna wanna wash your hands before you come into the buffet. And like I said, this is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. There are lots of places to sit. There's a beautiful space at the very back of the Windjammer where you can sit outside. It is absolutely gorgeous, especially when you're on these sailings that are all about the views here in Alaska. It's one of my favorite places to sit back and just grab a cup of coffee and really enjoy the sights. But here in the Windjammer is where you're going to have all the different food options. You definitely have a bar in here as well. So we'll take a walk to the other side and show you that. The bar is up here next to the bakery. So if you do have a drink package, this is a place where you can come and get specialty coffees, of course, for a charge. You have another hand washing station. And then right outside the Windjammer towards the exit, you do have Coastal Kitchen. Coastal Kitchen is going to be the suites only restaurant. So if you are, again, staying in a suite, if you're staying in a grand suite or above, that will be the restaurant you can go to. Junior suites, you have to make a reservation, and if it's available, you can eat there. If it's not available, then unfortunately, you would be eating in the main dining rooms. Walking outside past the elevators, immediately on my left, we We're gonna have the kids splash zone. We're gonna check that out in just a second, but I do wanna point something out that is on my right, and that is going to be a quick service restaurant. Now, unfortunately, this restaurant has been closed for this entire sailing. This ship was built for the Asian market and did come from Singapore. So that's why you're gonna see a lot of multilingual signs here on the Quantum. This place specifically says noodles, dim sum, and milk tea. Now, we wish this was open on our sailing, and we were so sad that it's been closed the entire time, because we would love some noodles, especially if they served ramen up here. If you were on this ship out of Singapore, let me know how the food was in this venue, because again, it's been closed for the entirety of our time up here in Alaska. Now, I'm gonna take this small staircase up to show you the kids' splash zone. I think something that's very cool here in the splash zone is that they have a miniature wave pool. I haven't seen this on any other Royal Caribbean ship, so that's very different. Of course, it is for kids. It's not for adults or adults with that are kids at heart. This is just gonna be for the little ones. You have a couple of showers on either side of that wave pool. And then you have a smaller little wading pool here with a water feature. It has been closed again for most of this sailing because of the colder weather. We are in Alaska. And then right across from the wave pool is going to be the main pool. Now, the main pool consists of this pool with 2 jacuzzis on either side. The jacuzzis are actually quite large. And then at the very top of the pool, you are going to have the sky bar. So if you're out here enjoying the weather, enjoying the pool, and you want to get a drink, you'll be able to do that at the sky bar there. The hot tubs on the outside have been open, which is great. Now, right off of the main pool area, you are gonna have a smoking section. So over here towards my left, there will be an area for smokers. So if you are a smoker, up here on deck 14, it's gonna be the area that you will be able to enjoy your cigarettes and cigars. If you are a cigar smoker, they do sell cigars on board down in Vintages. We'll see that venue in a little bit, but that is the wine bar on board. We are now walking into the inside pool area. This area is really nice. It's been pretty busy on those sea days just because the outdoor pool has been closed. But again, you have a nice big pool. Gets about 5 foot 3 inches deep. And then you're going to have hot tubs on either side. So 2 large hot tubs on the outside, 2 large hot tubs here on the indoors, and then even more hot tubs in the Solarium. There is not a shortage of hot tubs here on the Quantum of the Seas. You're going to have the pool bar here. So again, another bar. Sky bar is on the outside, pool bar is on the inside. And then lots and lots of loungers and comfortable furniture. I have noticed the furniture on this ship does look a little bit different from other ships. It definitely is elevated. It reminds me a little bit of Celebrity. If you've sailed on Celebrity cruises, some of these chairs make me think of seating that I would see actually on a Celebrity ship. You've got an area with some deck chairs and tables. Again, more chairs and tables on this side, right next to all of the windows. So again, lots and lots of glass, floor to ceiling glass windows. It's an incredible ship to take to Alaska. Now, before we get into the Solarium, I do want to point out on either side here in the indoor pool area, you are going to have a men's and women's restroom. I'm standing inside or right by the men's restroom. On the other side, you will see the women's restroom. Now, the Solarium is for ages 16 and up. So if you do have family members that fall into that age range, they can definitely enjoy this adults only pool area. The Solarium on the Quantum class ships are always beautiful, and this one of course did not disappoint. You're going to have multiple tiered pools as well as multiple hot tubs. We're going to walk down and see those in just a second, but I do want to point out quickly, you do have another bar immediately here in the Solarium. This is going to be the Sunshine Bar. So not a shortage of bars here on the Quantum of the Seas either. I'll give you this view of the beautiful pools. So you've got like 4 pool areas where you can come in and enjoy absolutely beautiful water features as well as art. The art on the ship has been incredible. It's been really, really beautiful. And then this is all enclosed, so you're still indoors. So for colder weather cruises, this is still gonna be a great place to come and hang out without getting too cold. You do have 2 hot tubs over here. And there's the cascading pools. And then 2 more hot tubs on this side. So you're gonna have 4 hot tubs total here in the Solarium and lots of comfortable seating. There's of course also lots of greenery, plants, palm trees. This area is one that is definitely one of our favorites in terms of adult-only spaces on cruise ships. Now, you also are going to have the Solarium Bistro. Solarium Bistro is found on certain Royal Caribbean ships, mostly on Oasis class ships and Quantum class ships. This is going to be an area where you can come and get small bites for dinner. It is more like European Mediterranean tapas, so if you are a fan of tapas, that is a free specialty dining experience, but you do have to reserve it beforehand. So again, something else that you're going to want to reserve if you do want to try that restaurant. It is complimentary. Coming out of the Solarium, you are going to have the women's bathroom on this side, and then your towel station will be right here off of the elevator bank. More seating, tables, loungers, and we are going to head on downstairs because this is the end of deck 14. We have now moved down to deck 5. Now, most of the decks between 5 and 14 are going to be stateroom decks, with the exception of a couple of things. You have the conference center on deck 13 and Adventure Ocean, which is going to be your kids club that spans decks 11 and 12. But we came down here where a lot of the other venues are, and we're standing currently outside of the Royal Theater. The Royal Theater is going to be the main theater on board the Quantum of the Seas. You're going to have multiple production shows during your cruise. You will not want to miss them. They are extremely upbeat and high tech. The Quantum class ships are known as the technical ships of all of the Royal Caribbean fleet, and that does not stop in the Royal Caribbean Theater, so you'll definitely want to check that out. Coming outside of the theater here, you are going to notice that you'll have doors right past the bathrooms. There's men and women's bathrooms on either side of the theater, and then these doors actually just lead out to a small observatory platform. We'll walk out there really quick. And this is on either side of the theater. So this isn't gonna be a real big deck where you're gonna be able to, lounge or lay out in a deck chair. You'll notice it kind of stops right back there. It's beautiful today here in Alaska. And then it is roped off right there. So if you want a place to come that's gonna be a little bit more hidden away during sail away, you don't wanna be all the way up on the top decks, and you wanna be a little bit closer to the water, Deck 5, right outside the Royal Theater, is going to be the place to be. We actually just discovered this, and I haven't seen this on a lot of other ships where it's just like a small deck area, but it's definitely one of those hidden gems here on the Quantum of the Seas. Now, of course, you're gonna have stairs that will take you up to deck 6 or down to deck 4. We're gonna walk through the forward bank of elevators into the Royal Esplanade. The Quantum of the Seas does have an esplanade, not a promenade. And as we start to walk into this area, you are going to have Chops Grill. This will be one of the specialty restaurants on board. Of course, they offer steak. This is the steakhouse. So lots of different steak options, lots of different sides like macaroni, mashed potatoes. All of your good old American favorites will be found in that restaurant. You do have the Schooner Bar. The Schooner Bar is, of course, going to be an area that will provide you with live music, great drinks, and a lot of different activities. So many different activities happen here, like trivia, coloring, and again, lots of live music, because you do have a piano player here on most nights of the cruise. Right next to the Schooner Bar, you are going to have the Focus Photo Gallery. Now, this will be the area that you can come and check out all the pictures that you take while you're on your cruise. There is a number of professional photographers here on board, and they do have touch screens for you to just tap your SeaPass card and take a look at the different pictures that you have taken with the professional photographers on board. Now, those do come at a cost. Those are not complimentary, but it is complimentary to come up here and look at the pictures and check them out to see if you would like to purchase and take any of them home with you. We're gonna walk past the Schooner Bar here into the main area of the Esplanade. And most of the venues in this part of the ship are going to be down on deck 4, so we will get down there very soon. But I did want to just point out that there is a staircase to take you down to deck 4 right outside of the schooner bar. Next, we have Izumi. Izumi is going to be here on my left, and this is of course going to be the sushi restaurant on board. So if you are a fan of sushi, Japanese fare, this will be the area that you can come and get that delicious sushi and food. And as we continue to move around, you are going to have the Bionic Bar. This will be, of course, your bartenders that are not people, but they're robots. So you have 2 robots here that make a variety of different types of drinks. You order off of a tablet. The status of your order is up here on the screen. This is something that actually kids love. I see a lot of kids coming and enjoying the Bionic Bar, and it is really fun and it's very unique. Now we jumped right across over from the Bionic Bar to the other side because I did want to show you there's another specialty restaurant up here called Wonderland. Wonderland is going to be, it's called Imaginative Cuisine, but this is a restaurant that is stylized after Alice in Wonderland. If you're an adventurous eater, this is definitely a place that you will want to come and check out. It's multiple courses, all very delicious. The Mad Hatter may make an appearance during your meal, and it is a lot of fun. If you have never done it, it's something that we would recommend trying. This would actually be the top recommendation for a specialty restaurant on board Quantum of the Seas that we would say is something that you should check out. Now, right outside the Wonderland restaurant, you'll have a little opportunity to get a photo taken here. There's a great photo op. Again, lots of specialty dining up here on deck 5. Chops, Izumi, Wonderland, all of course for an additional fee. Coming right across from Wonderland, you are going to have shore excursions. So this is of course going to be your land adventures when you're on the cruise ship. It is great because you can just peruse the different excursions on these tablets here. Again, very high tech. But if you do want to speak to someone, typically someone is here during hours of operation to answer any questions that you might have about the various shore excursions that the ship is offering. Take a look at this incredible art piece. It is screens that are kind of all twisted together, sitting here at the very top level of the Esplanade. It's very cool. Now we're going to continue to walk, and we're here towards the aft bank of elevators. There's going to be bathrooms here, men's on my left, women's on my right. But we're going to head on into the next area. This ship is really beautiful, and considering that it is actually an older ship, you would never recognize it. It feels brand new, like it just came out of dry dock or just came out of the shipyard a couple of weeks ago. It really is beautiful. We love this structure here in the main area. And you're going to have several venues right around this structure, including Jamie's. Now, Jamie's is going to be, again, another specialty restaurant that would be for a charge, and this is going to be Italian. So if you are looking to get a nice Italian meal on board, you will come here into Jamie's. The portions are very generous. So if you're wanting Italian food, come hungry. Right across from Jamie's, you are going to have several shops. So of course, this is going to be more high-end shopping, and you're going to see that quite a bit here on the Quantum. So here's Bulgari. Of course, you're going to have a lot of jewelries, watches, and then you do have Vintages. This is the place where I said you could come and purchase cigars. So if you do want to buy a cigar and smoke a cigar while you're on board, you can come and purchase it here. But Vintages is going to be the wine bar. So if you are a wino or you consider yourself someone that loves wine, Vintages will be the place that you will want to come and check out. Right outside of Vintages, you are going to have Next Cruise. This is, of course, the area where you can come and check out future cruises that Royal Caribbean is offering and book with a specialty agent. They're really helpful here on board. If you're looking at booking another cruise, you definitely can come and do that here on board during your trip. Now, as we continue to walk, there's one other area I do want to point out. This is going to be the VOOM desk. So if you're having issues with Wi-Fi, you want to purchase Wi-Fi, you want to talk to someone about Wi-Fi in the ship, you'll do that right here next to Next Cruise up on deck 5. So we continue to walk down this hallway. You're going to have Park West. This is going to be, of course, for the art collectors on board. If you're someone that loves art and collects art, you'll want to come and visit the Park West people. They host a number of different events while on board, including an art auction. And then we do have the cafe at 270. This is going to be a free, fast, casual restaurant where they'll serve salads, sandwiches, and soups. They also have some coffee in there, water stations. They're closed right now, but it is a great place to come and pick up a small bite to eat for lunch. And now we are walking into 270. This is a multi-purpose room that functions as an entertainment space as well as an event space. So they have a number of different events, dance parties, nightclubs in this area, but then they also have shows. The shows in here are high tech and very, very cool. The different platforms move up and down. People will just all of a sudden be flying up from out of nowhere in the basement. It is very cool. If you've ever seen a show on a Quantum class ship, they are all very interesting. They include 6 moving screens that are robots that are highly incorporated into the show. So if you've seen any of those shows, let me know in the comments below what you think. They're some of our favorite shows on Royal Caribbean. Now there is an upper area where you can sit, so if you do want to sit upstairs, you can take the staircase here to get up. We actually recommend sitting in the upper balcony for the show back here. It really gives you a better view of everything going on the stage because there's typically quite a bit of movement and stuff going on. So if you come and see the show, we actually recommend that you sit upstairs. We have come right downstairs to deck 4, so we're towards the aft of deck 4, and this is going to be where your main dining rooms are. And yes, there are 4 of them. This is a little bit different than, of course, some of your other more traditional main dining room seating. There's 2 of the dining rooms up here, American Icon and Silk. This is going to be where My Time Dining will be, so if you do have My Time Dining, which means you come and dine for dinner at your leisure, you will be on this deck in one of these 2 dining rooms. The dining rooms all have the same menus, but they do have a little bit of a look and feel to them that is different from one another. But just know if you are in My Time Dining, you will be here on deck 4. The other 2 dining rooms are below on deck 3, and we will get down there in a little bit. Right outside of the dining rooms, you are going to have some bathrooms. So men's and women's bathrooms will be on the left-hand side as you're walking out. You'll have both of them there. And then we are going to take a walk into the main area of the Royal Esplanade. So this will be where a lot of the bars, venues, and shops will be. You see that sign there, and before you enter into the Royal Esplanade, you will have stairs, of course, right outside those elevator banks. Now coming in here, you will see a staircase, kind of a grand staircase that goes up or down. That is easy access up to deck 5 to where the specialty restaurants are, or down to deck 3 where you're going to have your casino. Now walking into the Royal Esplanade, you will have guest services. If you do have any issues with your room or any problems while on board, you can definitely come and speak to someone here. Now right past this line and to the right, you will also have an ambassador desk. So I'll actually walk right over here and give you a quick view of that. So that's going to be your ambassador loyalty desk right there. So if you have any questions or issues with your Crown and Anchor Society number, you can definitely go there and they will help you. So we continue to walk around. You are going to have Boleros. Boleros is going to be your Latin style bar and of course entertainment venue. This is another venue where they're going to have live music, maybe a little bit of dancing from time to time. They do some karaoke in here. And then of course you do have a bar. Now the drink that we recommend in this venue is the frozen mojito. So if you're here on board and you have the drink package, we do recommend that. Now you're gonna see a screen right in front of me that's gonna say today's activities with a gentleman standing right next to it. That is an ATM machine. So if you are interested in pulling out money while on board, of course that does charge you a fee, but the ATM is here on deck 4. Now, we do have quite a few shops here on deck 4 as well. We are in port today, so the shops are closed, but you of course are going to have the Royal Caribbean brand shop next to Coach, a much more high-end store. And then right across from that, you will have Port Merchants, which is going to be the area that you can purchase your alcohol, your cigarettes, and then they do sell just some more common things like toothbrushes, razors, that type of stuff in there if you need any of that. You'll see these kiosks here in the middle. These will also be areas that they'll have sales and they'll sell things throughout your cruise. So we continue to walk. You are going to have La Patisserie. This is going to be a coffee shop as well as a bakery on board. Now this is going to be specialty coffees, and this does take the place of Starbucks. So you get Starbucks on certain ships, and here you have La Patisserie. Right across from there, you are going to have Cafe Promenade. Cafe Promenade, of course, is going to be the area where you can come and get small bites to eat, so small sandwiches, fruits, and then, of course, you do have coffee stations and a water station in here as well. This is all complimentary, and this specific venue is open 24/7. Definitely try the coconut cookies. They are a favorite of the channel. Right next to Cafe Promenade, you are gonna have Sorrento's. This will be the pizza place on board. Now, an important thing to point out here in the pizza place is you do have not one, but two Coke style freestyle machines, excuse me. So if you do have, again, that soda or beverage package, you can bring your cup here and you can go ahead and get yourself a soda. Not have to wait in a long line at a bar. So here they do have lots of pizza. The pizza is not open 24/7. This is open typically until about 1 a.m. The pizza's been really good on board. Definitely great for a late night snack right before you go to bed. We may or may not have ended our night here a couple of times. Continuing to walk out here, you are going to have regalia, which is going to be fine jewelry. And then I do want to point out the harp and horn. This is, of course, going to be the pub on board. Now, this is another venue that you're going to be able to come and check out live music. The musician has been phenomenal. We sat in here last night, listened to him for quite a while. He's just been really, really good. Of course, you do have a full bar here. And then we are going to walk right out here and you will have quite a few more shops. Regalia is actually huge. It takes up a lot of space. Has probably the most retail space, I would say, on the Quantum. Now, here is the steps that will take you up to deck 5, right outside the schooner bar. We walked past that a little bit ago. And then we're going to continue to walk out here. Of course, the continuation of Harp and Horn is here. This also does double as kind of a sports bar. They typically are playing sports during the day. So if you are looking for a place to come and catch a game, the Harp and Horn will be a place that you will want to come and do that. There is a Cartier on board. So of course, again, more watches. And then the shops do continue on. This is going to be Beauty Avenue. So this will be the place that you'll be able to buy perfumes, fragrances, colognes, as well as makeup. You see a number of different brands in there. And the Beauty Avenue store does stretch all the way down. So you're gonna have another entrance into that right down there. But before we get down there, I do wanna point out another very important venue. This is the Music Hall. The Music Hall is another venue that's a full entertainment venue, an event venue. Again, lots of different events in here. Trivias, crafts, live music. It's a great place to come, grab a drink and chill, or party, depending on what's going on in here. This area typically has actually doubled as the nightclub. So really late at night, you're gonna find a lot of energy. I think that's the good word to use for this venue. This venue does span 2 decks, and then up here you do, of course, have some pool right beside the bar. And then I will give you a quick view into the lower deck of the Music Hall. So of course there is the stage with a dance floor and then lots of seating. And so this does span decks 3 and 4. We are on the upper deck, deck 4 at the moment. Again, I love just the art that's on the wall, all of these different hearts and mirrors. It's just super fun. The theming of the Music Hall is great. It's one of my favorite venues on Royal Caribbean. Now walking out of the Music Hall again, we're continuing to walk past more of Beauty Avenue. Next to Beauty Avenue, you do have luxury leather, so lots of bags here. If you're interested in shopping for bags, of course, we saw Coach. Luxury leather is going to be a place that you can do that. And then we have Prince and Green. Prince and Green is going to be a store with more high-end shopping. So you're going to have clothing items, you're gonna have things that you can take home specifically from the area that you're in. So this has a lot of stuff here from Alaska. Something that I really like that Royal Caribbean has done is they've been implementing in local fare into these stores as well. So if there's things that you wanna buy locally that you missed maybe at port, you can actually buy them there at Prince and Green. As we continue to walk here on deck 4, I wanna just point out this art installation. You have this guy driving this car. He's continuously driving. I wonder where he's going. That's a really, really cool art installation though. We really love it. You have the lower level of the Royal Theater. The Royal Theater does span decks 4 and 5, as well as bathrooms right outside the theater for men and women. And then on the other side of the elevators here, you are going to have the Diamond Lounge. The Diamond Lounge is, of course, a loyalty lounge. So if you are Diamond or above, this is going to be a lounge that you can come and hang out in. It's an area with a lot of nice seating, a much more quiet area, I would say, typically. And yeah, if you are Diamond or above, it's an area that you can come and check out and relax in. We pop down here to deck 3, and of course, right in the elevator bank, you have the entrance into the music hall, which I actually think is great, because you don't have to walk far when getting off the elevator to get to the fun. So again, this is the lower level of the music hall. You're gonna have your main bar down here. It's a really big bar that opens up, to either side. Has chairs all around it. And then again, there is that dance floor and stage. Let me know in the comments if this is a venue that you like. This is a venue that is found on Quantum class and Oasis class ships, and they look very different here on the Quantum class from the Oasis class. So let me know which one you like better. I personally think that the Quantum class of ships has the best music halls, but I don't know, that might not be a popular opinion. Now, right outside the music hall, you are going to have Casino Royale. So this is going to be one of the entrances into the casino. It is closed at the moment, but of course, this is a place where you're going to have lots of tables and lots of slot machines. Now, this ship was one that was built for the Asian market, so there are a lot more tables in this casino than we have seen on other ships. Also, part of the casino is undergoing a renovation at the moment, so there's a portion of the casino that we don't have access to currently on this sailing. Nonetheless, we've spent a lot of really fun evenings in here. We've had a good time, and it's still a nice casino. This casino does have a portion that is smoking, so if you are a smoker, you can smoke in here, but you do have to be actively playing in order to be smoking, and they have implemented that rule, and they're enforcing it here on Quantum of the Seas. We're gonna jump over to the other side of the Casino Royale because there's a few more things to see on deck 3, so let's jump over there now. We popped right on the other side of Casino Royale, and there really is only a couple of other venues here, here more towards the aft bank of elevators. So we're walking through those elevators now. I had mentioned that there was 2 other main dining rooms here on deck 3, and that is true. So that is what's here all the way at the back of the ship. You are gonna have the Grand and Chic. So these will be more of your set dining times or dining rooms here. They're gonna be right past these brown doors, but again, 2 other rooms that are going to be stylized a little bit differently. However, you are going to have the same menu. So if you're down here dining on deck 3, you'll be all the way at the back of the ship. Well, thank you again for watching the tour with us today. We really appreciate it. We release videos on this channel every Sunday and Wednesday all about cruising. So if you like what you see, join the crew, hit the subscribe button, and until next time, see ya.